Very warm good afternoon to one and all. I'm very glad to meet you on this auspicious occasion by heartily welcoming everybody to Yoga Mahotsav webinar. I heartily welcome our chief guest, Dr. Ishwar B. Bashareddy, Director, MD and IY, who supports the yoga community as well, who behind this event. Next, I would like to welcome our speakers, Dr. Ashwath Hegde and Dr. Arun Tulasi, and also all the participants. Once again, I welcome all the people who love this yoga and who practicing yoga and those who want to know about yoga and want to live the healthy life. I'm welcoming you all. And I appreciate and thank each and everyone who put equal effort to attend this session. I'm welcoming you all. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, ma'am, for your welcome address. Hope everyone knows we are on the 100 days countdown, celebrating International Yoga Day. So previous times we did a lot of programs. Now it's the time for us to present our resource person, Dr. Arun Tulasi sir. To know about Arun Tulasi sir, he did PNYS in our college. In 2010, he passed out. And he pursued MD degree from SB Azhar in yoga department. கேக்கலையா? So currently, Arun Tulasi sir is doing PhD on yoga from SB Azhar, Bangalore. So also, I want to note one other thing is, Sir Arun Tulasi sir has contributed a lot of research papers, and his papers have been published both internationally and on national journals. In the current field of naturopathy and yoga, he is contributing a lot. So it's time to welcome our resource person on screen. Sir.
Hello, is my screen visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
We welcome you, sir. On
Thank
behalf
you.
of our college management, we welcome you. The session is yours. You can go ahead.
Thank you so much, Karthik. First of all, let me take my opportunity to thank Dr. Anusha, ma'am, dearest Anusha, madam, for making this opportunity. This is really actually an opportunity, not just for the sake for a formality, for making this opportunity so that I could come and interact with our own team of people, students, clinicians, academicians, like from the institute and across. So I would like to thank Anusha madam, and I would also like to thank Punniraja, who has, he had the thought of like we could call this person. But I would like to make a correction in what Karthik had told. Karthik said like I had made a lot of publications, so which is not actually correct. We like to be very specific. This is very few publications. And that's why I thought, we should get into this research so that we could contribute into this field. So once again, let me thank everybody. I would also like to thank the organizers for this webinar. And I do hope that the objective is achieved for what it has been arranged. And I pray to God Almighty that for whatever aims that this webinar is being hosted, like if it is amongst the students, amongst the people in the institute, that be able to make justice to the objective. The topic which I would like to talk on today's webinar would be the relevance of yoga in our modern society. So I would like to talk about a general therapeutic as well as from a research point of view. I hope my slides are also moving. Yes.
Yes, moving.
Thank you. To begin off with an introduction, we have chosen in our BNYS. I was told that most of our crowd is our BNYS community or BNYS students. So we deal with naturopathy and we deal with yoga. So I'm here. We are all here to listen about the yogic aspect of our BNYS. Yoga, as not just me telling, as we all popularly know, is one of the best and the most popular integrative branch of science. I repeat, it is one of the best and the most popular integrative branch of science. And this integrative aspect is also because of its holistic nature. The all aspect of holism, where you consider the complete individual. We speak about considering the complete individual, but it is more than what we can actually grasp. The aspect of holism is something that even makes the aspect of yoga or even all the other systems of Ayush, especially naturopathy, very popular. When we speak about yoga, like when we talk about yoga, what do we generally think about? We generally think about practices or the philosophies or the theories, isn't it? So I don't want it to be stuck in that realm where we just talk about, whoa, this can be yoga. Yoga is that philosophical aspect. Yes, I'm not here to undermine philosophy. Philosophy is important, very important when you want to take up any field of knowledge. But my point is, if we are not able to use that theory or that philosophy in a day-to-day living, then there is no point in further pursuing this. We, as people in the field of yoga, let it be academicians, let it be clinicians, let it be researchers, if we are not able to practically deal with yoga, take yoga to the masses in the way it is required, we may easily shun off yoga. We should not be talking or boasting about yoga being great or this or that. Let us make sure that I intend that our talk should be in such a way that yoga, as simple, is practical to the people. Now, in which manners is it practical? So that is what we need to, dwell in this talk. When we see yoga, we cannot give a definite time for its origin. We have like thousands and like lakhs and lakhs of years together. So why do you think that yoga has stood this test of time? I believe it is because this centuries old science is still being continuously discovered. We have all of us, we have seen about the different poses or the so-called yogic poses in the different civilizations, the Harappan and the Mohenjo-daro, and still we see people having all the different poses. What is happening here? It is like it is still being continuously discovered. So when we have that discovery thing still being left and left, we simply understand that this science is still yet to be completely, or we have just like begun its discovery. And talking about the benefits, we have benefits both at personal and interpersonal levels, isn't it? It is not just a person, if I give yoga, that only the other person. It is also, the benefits are also happening at my levels too, provided I take it in that manner, isn't it? So it's like hardly we don't have much of the systems of healing wherein you get all the multitude of benefits at personal and interpersonal levels. So I was talking that yoga being a science, yoga is this science, it's a branch of science being holistic. So I was really dwelling, am I really talking science? Or is it just because everybody calls it science? So I thought it would be interesting if I do a search regarding what actually science meant. I'm not telling that this is the Oxford Dictionary, but I took this definition from the Science of Council, which is a UK-based organization. that deals with the pursuit and the enhancement of science. I would really want all of us to look at this and not just look at it, but with that yogic point of view. Are we really eligible to call yoga as a science? If so, this is the definition. Can we say that yoga is the pursuit and the application of knowledge and understanding? I want you to look at that. It is not just the pursuit. It is not just a theoretical, but it is also the application of the knowledge and the understanding of the natural and social world. In our context, it is the world of yoga, of the natural and the social world of yoga. How? By following a systematic methodology based on evidence. So can I call yoga as a science? Yes, I believe so. Let us make our objectives very clear. As a part of the talk for the field of yoga, it is to simply, and whatever might be the stream that we are being pursued, like we might be in the clinical, you might be into research, you might be teaching, you might be just even promoting yoga for business purpose. It is to bring the benefit of yoga to each and every one in the society. You don't want to make a discrimination. Each and every one is eligible to enjoy the benefits of yoga, and that is our objective. Being in the field of yoga in different aspects, we need to push yoga to the masses. Now, what is the way forward for yoga to be pushed forward? It is by taking the best. We say that the vision of yoga moving forward would be to combine, and not just simply harmoniously combine, the wisdom at which the East is at its best, along with the research technology at which the West is at the best. So we take the best of both the sides of the continents and we combine them, and we propose that this is the way forward. When you take the best of the East and the best of the West, that propels us to further advance in our science of knowledge. And also, the another way that we have to see ourselves moving forward is to make yoga socially relevant to the masses. Now, how do you make it socially relevant to the masses? By the help of the various modern tools which scientific research can offer to us. And this is why we say for any science to be relevant, you need to be updated. You cannot just afford to be lost in updation and still consider that you will be moving forward. Like I was telling, why did yoga stood the test of time after centuries and centuries? Because people in yoga are able to utilize scientific knowledge to advance their ancient knowledge of yoga. This is what we say, the wisdom of the East and the advancement of the West. Okay, now, when I look at the challenges in the new millennium, of course, we need to talk about socially relevant aspects. So what are the challenges in the new millennium? It's all talking about stress, and you want to talk about health boosters, isn't it? Like in the ancient times, it was all about survival, moving out of poverty, taking care of your basic amenities. We have new challenges. It's all related to the stress and your health promotion. If you see, we have a science which is centuries old. So the knowledge of the centuries old was not exactly based on the kind of stress or the health promotion that we see in our present times. And hence, there is a need of shift of our knowledge based on the challenges of the new millennium, which are stress and health. Now, what could be the other challenges? Instead of challenges, I think I would more put it as, what are our other potentials? We have our potential in education, in the field of research, technology, management, and economics. If you see in terms of education, we all being BNYers, we know that I'm talking about BNYers, but here in this aspect of yoga, I'm here to also tell that we also have our other streams, our other institutions, universities, which propagate the different the branches of education pertaining to yoga exclusively. Okay, so you can have, how do you say, like intermediate people who can take just like, for example, monthly courses. Like, you can have a 1 month course called as like, for example, there's a yoga instructor course, which is just a 1 month course. And at the other extreme, you can have people doing PhDs or postdocs, which takes years together. So this lies our challenge. There lies our potential in spreading. What are we discussing here? We are trying to, what was our main objective? To bring the benefit of yoga to all. And what you see over here are the different methods we use research in yoga, well and good. Not, we could say very well and good, but still we are at par with other streams of medical knowledge when we talk about research. We use yoga technologies. Technology, like for example, as we update our technology, as we move forward in this social, virtual world, you can also find technological advancement also happening in yoga, because yoga is so much liked by people, by ancient people who likes to follow the ancient methods, the all kind of techie people who likes to go for the advancement. Yoga is liked by people of different arenas. So you can also expect the potential lying in all these fields, in the management, in the economics. So we could want to say, how is yoga relevant in management economics? Like, for example, yoga, in terms of teaching us, like, for example, management and economics, when you teach yoga, like, what is the usual management rule? It's like from going from a money making or a money related business to human relations. So this is another way of converting our point of view when you come into the different streams of yoga. We can also add the aspect of therapy over here. There are different challenges which we are posed to. So when we talk about different challenges, they are multi-dimensions. So what you see previously are the challenges that you see from an external point of view. We also have challenges from the internal point of view. We have the physical, we also have the mental, the emotional and intellectual challenges at personal levels too, isn't it? We cannot ignore the internal world and just talk about the external thing. This is the beauty of yoga. You look at the whole picture. So when you start, it's like if you start correcting the whole external and you just ignore the internal, that's not what yoga is meant to be. So we are talking about multi-dimensional challenges. We are talking about multi-dimensional potentials for yoga to act on. Just look at what has happened. We had our COVID-19 pandemic. The impact has affected all the different streams that you have seen as what is mentioned as challenges over here. And therefore, the way out would be to have a multi-dimensional approach. These are the challenges, just like we say unity of disease and unity of cure. When you have a multi-dimensional challenge, you need a multi-dimensional approach for this. Now, let me move on to the relevance of yoga from a general and a therapeutic viewpoint. I want all of us to again and again, especially I need to remind myself that I should not move yoga out of the practicality of the common person. Whatever we talk, whatever we discuss regarding yoga has to be relevant at present times. And this is why I want to, at purpose, I use this as the first point. We, being in the field of yoga, need to break the conventional taboo of that yoga is about practices. Yoga is about doing all your things on your mat. It's all restricted to the beauty and the wellness and your flexibility of your body. That has to be broken. And that can be broken only with time and only with training, with continuous education. And it's not just an external education. We need to remind ourselves too that our concept, our talk of yoga has to go beyond the mat. This is so much relevant. This is the first and the foremost point. Like, if you are able to think beyond the box, beyond the mat, good. You have opened up a huge possibility of exploring the different aspects of yoga, which would have probably been undiscovered in the present era. Now, what is going to help us? how do we go beyond, or like, what is the way out? It is by taking, it is by accepting, following an integrative approach. What is this integrative approach? I'm sure most of us would be aware of. It is about considering the different dimensions with which an individual is made up of. Now, why do I want to talk about it? How is it relevant to us here? Keep on asking that question. How is this integrative approach relevant to us? Because me, with all my limited perception to my body, to my likes and dislikes, I don't have an answer out, isn't it? When do people approach us? When they stop getting the solutions which are generally, giving solutions or seems to be giving solution to the others. Because you have your limited perceptions, and within that you have exhausted all possibilities. Welcome to yoga, where you are being opened a door of limitless potential. And that helps you to discover yourself, self-discovery, that helps you to realize, how do I say in simple words? Just like Swami Vivekananda says, that sleeping lion within you. In all aspects, preventive, therapeutic, well-being, physical, spiritual aspects. You're introducing yoga to yourself to find out who you are, isn't it? The whole life, we just look outside, we find people, all engrossed with their physical routine, they becoming sick, they follow their whole boring schedule, and they come. We tell people, guys, take a break. There is another view to life. There's another way of looking into it. And it's not like we tell them, and this is the way. We just would love to guide them so that they themselves take on that path. And this has to be pushed on, considering the fast growing modern society. Isn't it? Like, for example, I was just talking about the pandemic. We need to really push yoga in its relevant manner so that it reaches the public in the best way. We have understood that when I'm talking about relevance, why is that we need yoga? It is because we humans, we deal at the mind and the emotional levels, isn't it? So it's like I don't have a control over my mind. I just follow my mind and I'm enslaved to my emotions. Like, even if we think we need to come out of it, like that is what we say as the Pratnya Aparadha. It's like a Duryodhana's ideology, that Duryodhana knows that what he is doing is not right, but he is unable to come out of it. He knows that he is not on the right path, but he is stuck to it. What is the way out? By culturing and mastering your emotions. How do you do that? We say yoga is socially relevant because we can use the art and the science of yoga to train the mind and emotions through different techniques. It can be suited as per one's convenience. Like, for example, we talk about the different parts of yoga, karma yoga, you talk about jnana yoga, you talk about hatha yoga. If I'm wonderful at using my body as an apparatus to train my mind, let me go to the path of hatha yoga. I'm a like kind of an emotional person, like that's my kind of thing. I will choose the path of bhakti yoga, which helps to culture. And I'm not talking about some ancient kind of things, but things that actually work in our modern society, where people can actually use simple techniques to culture your emotions. You're more of an intellectual mindset. You have jnana yoga. So what is yoga trying to do? Whatever it is, there is a solution to it. And what is the best part of it? It's not like many science talks about it. Many streams just shy away when you talk about the mind. And this is where we become very relevant. Talking about customization. We know that we say that all the therapies has to be individualized. Like, even if A and B have the same set of issues, we customize the therapy. We in yoga, we would like to point it out that this is how we say that every individual is unique. You have your different body constitutions, prakriti, your makeup is different, the way your lifestyle is all different, and hence your therapies are also customized. And it is also to remind that it is not like can be blindly be given. Why do we professionally learn? what do we take from experience? That things are not just like one size fits all. All the limitations and the contraindications which is there has to be remembered. It has to be respected. Yes. And I have also mentioned earlier, the benefits of yoga is multitude. It's both the one who delivers and the one who receives. There is benefits from both the sides, provided it is being taken in that manner forward. So, if I want to just sum it up, I would like to say that yoga, from a general and a therapeutic point of view, can benefit the general public in terms of prevention of diseases, isn't it? We speak a lot of prevention of diseases. This is one of the challenges that we see in our modern era, about how do you prevent it in the first place. Okay, promotion of positive health. Wonderful, where we bring in yoga. When we speak about all the positive health activities, you just check out. We all know when we speak about promotion of positive health activities, we definitely know that yoga has a place in it. Just think it from an unbiased point of view. Positive promotion of health, yes, yoga has a relevance there. Now, why is it happening? It happens mostly in a subconsciously or unconsciously. That is because of the impact yoga has given to individuals at some or the other point of their life. In terms of economics and joy, what do I mean by economics? By the economy of the society. Like you see, we would like to say that yoga, when we train, how is yoga being socially relevant? That the economy of the economical aspect of the population can be well benefit when you practice yoga, isn't it? Like you are making it as a part of your lifestyle. Okay, so thereby ensuring that the different aspects of your health, physical, mental, or social, is being well taken care of. You are at a better position as a people, as a non-yoga practitioner. Okay, that does not mean that we are the best and the others are. It is not about segregating. It's not about dividing people, but we propose that people in the field of yoga are well better in terms of health and in the long term their economy. Okay, and ethics and freedom. What do I mean by this ethics and freedom? Yoga teaches us the culturing of our viveka to make up the right choices. We all have the freedom, isn't it? And yoga teaches us that this freedom be directed for the higher goal, for the higher goal. So whatever you want to do, you want to talk about prevention of health, you want to talk about promotion of your health, you want to talk of economical gain, freedom, all of them leads to our destination. So as most of us would have been familiar with this. So I just wanted to again remind that the journey is always on the bright side, on the upward side. Okay, so that we remind ourselves, like I said, it is all about going beyond the mat. When I am taking this slide, I would also want us to remind that if you think that you can achieve yoga or the real aspects of yoga by just simply sitting in the mat, no. This slide is just to tell you, it is to simply take you away from your animal level to higher and higher dimensions. Okay, and hence we say yoga can be the science for the future. Okay, because of its uniqueness, the non-invasive look, we also have the science of knowledge in yoga, which wants us to search for the root cause of issues. Just like how do we have it in naturopathy, just like how do we have it in these holistic systems of healing, isn't it? And we all know that from all the Ayush streams, we are yoga is very acceptable and very popular from all the streams of Ayush. Just look at that. When you see, again, let me come back to the uniqueness. Like I have told you earlier, it is not like other sciences of healing explores this mind-body connection to its fullest. It is not like we have all access to the fullest knowledge. We have the potential, being in the field of yoga, to explore this mind-body connection. Isn't it why we speak about the psychosomatic diseases? So we speak about psychosomatic diseases being very common, being so relevant now, isn't it? As compared to the communicable diseases, we say about it's more about the mind-body diseases. And look at yoga, which helps you to explore this. It's just like, we have the perfect kind of solution for the relevant problems. and the popularity of yoga, both in the East as well as in the West, has helped to push this field to quite great extent. Like, we are hosting this webinar. Why are we doing this? It is because, like, we know that we have a forthcoming International Yoga Day, and we are just like pre-planning our programs as a part of educating the masses, as a part of popularizing this field of yoga into the people. This popularization has helped in exploration of aspects of yoga, isn't it? When something becomes popular, when something becomes quite socially relevant, we naturally go into the depths of it, and we try to find in the deeper secrets. We also try to make it more and more socially relevant to the masses. So, it's like all talking the goodness and all the best part of yoga. So now my question is, like, so is yoga all perfect? It's like, I'm talking like yoga is equivalent to God or something. It's like the godly side. So is yoga actually all perfect? When we ask this question, so far we were thinking like yoga might be all perfect, but when you really ask yourself, isn't it? That's what we need to be training to. But really, when we ask ourselves, is actually yoga all perfect? Let us see. I think it's not something that I need to answer. It's something that we all need to come up to. Okay, or at least attempt to come up to. And this is where we come to the next aspect about the research. We were speaking about how socially yoga has to be, and we spoke in the previous slides that about making use of technological advancement for making yoga socially relevant. So with this, I would like to say that with all the applications, like we have seen in terms of education, in terms of therapy, in terms of economical advancement, technological advancements, at different aspects, we need to have research as its base. And then only can we say that our progress is truly called as progress. Now, what is the relevance of research? Always let us remind the objective, the purpose of the talk. Let us talk about the relevance of yoga. And here I would want us to go to the next dimension, which is the research aspect of yoga. So far, we have been talking about the general, the therapeutic, and the philosophical point of view, which is relevant to the masses. Now let us look at the research point of view, where it is more relevant to our field, which is yoga. I just wanted to check out, like, why do we need to do research? People say research, research. Is it really important? Come on. We meet people like, you just have your degrees, you can go for your clinical pursuit, well and good. Why you need to, take your time, money, energy for all the research? Let's check out some of the points. Like, it's not me dictating that these are the reasons, but I feel it is something that we could share with each other and come to certain ideas or conclusions. Research. This, what I have mentioned over here, it does not pertain only to yoga. It can be pertaining to any field of science. Research helps to correct our perceptions. I have a perception that this is to be done in this way. Another person says, no, it is to be done in that way. So we cannot be biased. We cannot just allow one person to be right without any logical inference. So this is where research comes to our rescue. Research helps to correct our perceptions about the science and thereby expanding its knowledge base. When we gather, it's like, for example, you have a science, it is there, you have the potential, but we might have little knowledge, it's not like properly explored. Might be the people, like, for example, you talk about yoga, the people centuries back whom we call as sages and the rishis, they had their wonderful, we say, like, the perfect knowledge about the science. Is that so our case? No. When they were the researchers of ancient centuries, we have our researchers. What do? We are here to gather more knowledge or information on the various topics and the phenomena where there is little or no knowledge at present. This is where, again, research is coming to help us out. Research helps us to develop and evaluate the various concepts, practices, and theories. What does it mean? I could develop a concept. Like, for example, you can have different concept papers. You can have intervention studies. You can have theoretical papers too. You develop, how do you do that? By a thorough study of literature. You can develop and you can evaluate, not just by the study of literature. You study the literature, that is fine review. And when you apply it, that becomes an intervention. And all the assessment helps in the development of the science of knowledge. Now, the relevance of research, this is where I really love it. It is very highly specific. You cannot just afford to, just make mistakes, or you can just think that it is okay, that time we skipped out, we don't have to really tell it out. No, it has to be very, very specific. The specificity of research is actually what at the end, who are the end users? It is the masses, it is the common person. You can create an impact on them. And hence research or researchers have to be very careful and be very specific about what they speak about their findings. When we speak about yoga research, this slide is like particularly about the yoga research. Like, it has started early in the 1940s. I was actually surprised to know that we had even research of yoga. Come on, if it was research of some other stream, yeah. But we have yoga researchers as early as the 1940s. But that pace which it gathered lost its momentum over the period of time, and then it has just like, the speed has just paced up after the 2000s. Okay. And why do we say that yoga is so popular and accepted? It is because yoga in present times is also an evidence-based knowledge. It is like, mostly, people who are currently in touch with research and the different developments of science will be knowing that yoga is not just some bogus, or people who say that it is some beliefs or only some theories and beliefs. No, we have published in peer-reviewed journals with impact that yoga is definitely an evidence-based knowledge. We are not telling that yoga is perfect or yoga is always the cure for all things, but we are publishing in such kind of journals. What are we trying to do? We are trying to make noise so that the people of the scientific community is being aware and is being slowly looking into what yoga is doing. They're developing their interest and would love to see further and further the hidden potentiality of yoga. And this is why universities and institutions have a keen interest for the development of research within their institutions. So when we see yoga therapy in its origin started from yoga as a research started with yoga therapy, but this yoga therapy has spread its wings to different dimensions. What are the different dimensions? We have seen in the field of education, it has went to the field of technology, in the field of economics, in the field of management. You have different dimensions where the wings of yoga has spread across. And now, what could be some of the reasons? We believe that it's like we have robust, how do you say, scientific methodologies, like such as RCTs, systematic reviews, by coming up with different mechanisms of actions. Just to mention a few, which has helped to strengthen our scientific hold within the scientific community. Okay. This I have already mentioned, that evidence-based knowledge helps us to remove that notion that we are just like, this is a belief, you just believe it. No, we test it out, we try it out. We know that we can be wrong. We can also assume we can be right. So whatever, this is a evidence-based knowledge and not just some dogmatic belief because some person might have told centuries back. No, it is an evidence-based knowledge. This is where we are talking about the relevance of research. It helps us to provide the hard facts of knowledge, okay, for which research is vital. You want to, just open it up in plain view to see what is it actually doing to us. And who knows, this might actually open different dimensions which might have not been explored, mostly would not have been explored. Okay, so this is where we again and again stress on the importance of having research in yoga. And I would say this is also been applicable to naturopathy in the other streams of healing too. Yoga research or research for any field in this matter is to remind us that we do research so that you can continuously evaluate the accuracy of the knowledge, the quality of the knowledge being delivered, and its relevance to modern society. Relevance is important. Like for example, now, like it was the COVID times. So what was people? People were locked down. People were inside. So was there no yoga happening? No. At that time, there was a spurt. There was an increase. There was an increase in tele-yoga. Okay, so just to point it out that with changing times, yoga can also change. It's just like, yoga being flexible on the mat is also flexible off the mat. And the relevance of yoga again is to help policymakers for the building up, for the, for bringing up different projects based and its implementation, its planning for the society. And this is all going to be based on research. So we better be sure that we don't lose it on the research aspect. Okay, so I would like to end my talk by telling that yoga is socially relevant because it is the path for us to take on our internal journey. Like I said, let it be students, academicians, clinicians, a common layman. We need to embark on this internal journey and pray that yoga be the best tool for that. Thank you. I would like to take this time to, first of all, thank everyone. And I would like to see, like, from this, people who have joined for the talk, if there are any doubts or if there is any point of discussion that you would like to bring in across, that would be very much welcome.
So good evening, students. If there is any doubts, you can either post in the Zoom box. On more than 200 viewers have been viewing in YouTube. So if you have any doubts, you can put it in the chat box so that Sir can reply to you.
Good evening, sir.
Very good evening.
I'm Harish Rija from Sri Ramakrishna Medical College.
Okay.
I have a doubt regarding something which I came across your slide.
Yeah, please.
May I please know what's the difference between personal and intrapersonal levels?
So when I talk, like I was talking about the multitude of benefits. So when I speak about personal here, what I meant was the intrapersonal and the interpersonal levels. So when I talk about the intrapersonal, it was like within, and interpersonal was like amongst the community. You're getting the point. Like I can have the benefits of yoga within myself, being a practitioner, and also I spread the benefits of my practice to the people in and around my community. As simple as that. So this is not something that we can usually find with, with nearly all the other systems of healing. You can have the benefits at both within yourself and from outside yourselves at different personal levels. Like you being impacting the society as well as yourself. And what do you use for that? We use yoga to have an impact on yourself and on the community around.
Thank you, sir. One more question, sir.
Yeah, please.
How can we customize yoga according to our modern culture?
How can we customize our yoga according to the model? Yes, very good question. Very good question. How can we customize? So if you see, we have different yoga modules for different health issues, isn't it? You have a yoga module for diabetes, you have a yoga module for obesity, you have a yoga module for cancer, for all these things. Now, how are these modules made up of? So that is, now comes the aspect of research. So when we talk about customization of therapy, it is in the therapeutic point of view, because we say that it is all being unique, we have all different. So now how do we do it? There research comes into the picture. So the customization or the building up of the different yoga modules for various health issues. It can also be non-health issues. Like for example, you can have yoga module for IQ development. You can have yoga module for speech development, So you can have yoga modules in different fields. So now, how do you develop that? It is by, first of all, you need to understand all the literature that is present in that topic. You need to go through the ancient as well as the scientific literature pertaining to that management of that particular health issue. And then you pile up all the information, you compile it up, and you sort it out, like which is the most relevant, which is the most important one. You take it out to the field, you take it and you talk it to your experts, the experts in the field, people who are in the field of yoga, people who are like also, like for example, if you're talking about diabetes, you'll be talking to a person who is in the field of yoga. You'll also be talking to an expert who is also in the field of diabetes. You need to take out your module, your list of practices, also giving the rationale behind it. And thereby, at the end of all this, you will be getting our module, which is, how do you say, customized. And actually, if you see, we have like currently written an article about yoga module development and validation, like what should be the rules and the ethics to be followed to it. It is just being submitted and it is under review. So that is something that pertains to research. This is why we need to say, for all these things to happen, we need to have a base of research that gives you the answers to the solution.
Thank you, sir.
Most
happy evening, sir.
happy.
Myself, Damini. I wish to put forth a question, sir.
Yeah, please.
We know that in our modern days, yoga is ubiquitous in nature. But most of us believe that yoga belongs to a spiritual thing. How it helps the modern society? Could you please give your explanation, sir?
What is exactly the question? Is it that yoga being a spiritual component is a problem?
Not only that, sir. But most
if you are
of
confused, I think you might be
people,
confused. Are you being trying to tell that yoga belongs to a particular religious segment? Because I'm not sure if that what your question is exactly.
yes, sir. Most of the people believe that it's related to a religious thing, particularly
Okay.
Hinduism.
Okay. So what is the question over here?
So in our modern society,
Yes.
how do we relate the spiritual things to our modern society, sir? How do we relate yoga to our modern society?
This is where I have told you the relevance of scientific research comes in. When you say that you have a reduced blood pressure from the system, you have a reduced blood pressure because of the practice of a yoga practice. Where does religion come in here? We know it doesn't come in here. Now, how do people know this? When you take it to the masses. We take it to the masses with a sphere of research, because mostly that is the language where people commonly agree on to. So when you can speak yoga in a scientific language to the people in a way which they can understand, it's not just you give some scientific jargons and confuse them and try to escape. No, talk to people in a scientific way in which they are able to accept it. There begins the change. People believe it belongs to Hinduism because of half-baked knowledge, which we know isn't the fact, isn't it? We all know here for 5.5 years, or for all the specialized, all the institutes of yoga is not here to promote any particular religion. Then why is it that the other people do it? It is because they lack that knowledge. So what is the solution for it? Very clear. It is to educate the masses, to introduce to them to the different ways and means. On one hand, we have people in Saudi Arabia practicing yoga, and on the other hand, we have all these, extremist ideas taking, just trying to constrict yoga, which is never going to happen. It's all about educating in the right ways. That is what we say, make yoga socially relevant. Then there are always a section of people. It's not like you can go on correcting people your whole life. Things have to be corrected amongst the community, it gets corrected. provided they are willing to, go beyond their narrow-minded. Did I
Good
answer
evening,
you?
sir.
Yes, good evening.
Good evening, sir. I'm Aditya Jagnesh from third year, sir. I have a doubt, sir.
Please.
So, to bring or to make or to take yoga to next level, as a BNOS doctor, how can we make or communicate to the society to not believe the misconceptions about yoga, sir? Just how can we easily take those ways to the layman people who had just an interest to learn yoga, sir? That is to get rid of those misconceptions about yoga.
By teaching them yoga, that you yourself have told the answer. It is about teaching. Just simply say, Aditya, what removes avidya? It is vidya, isn't it? You remove ignorance through knowledge. Okay, and it is, and like we ourselves do, we tell them it is not like you just have to blindly believe whatever we say. You try it out, you test it out, then you find it out, then and then only you accept it. If people who are genuinely interested in, getting into the knowledge, do you think they will not have the answers? And like I said, on the other hand, you have people who are very stubborn, not open to learning, not open to new expansions of the knowledge. It is better we don't, waste our time in such kind of people, because we have lot of work to do in our fields. So we rather focus on progressing and spreading this. It will happen. Just imagine, was this the state of yoga like around 50 years ago? No. Leave 50 years ago. Was this the state of yoga 20 or 30 years ago? Never. When did this yoga, we have this webinar, when did this popularity happen? Very recently, na? What is it showing us? That people are good, isn't it? There is always goodness in humanity, and knowledge will keep on expanding.
Thank you, sir.
Most welcome.
Thank you guys for all your questions. Now I wish to thank our resource person, Dr. Anantaraji sir, for giving a valuable information regarding yoga in modern society. The way you cleared the doubts of the students stands high, sir. So we always bow for you. It was indeed a good session. So hope so. We heard a lot of interesting informations and how we have to take up yoga in the future. Likewise, you have given a lot of things. Indeed, you have taught us. We have to do a lot of research papers too. So thank you, sir. Thank you, sir, for your presence.
Thank you. I once again thank SRKMC and all the organizers for this webinar. And I do hope to meet all of you guys, and let us see in which ways we can progress by all means. I thank everyone over here. Thank you so much.
So, so the delegates who have been presented here in this Zoom as well as in the YouTube live take 2 to 3 minutes of break. So we will be get back here by 4. Hi everyone. Now we are going to start the second session. So it's time for to present our second resource person, Dr. Ashwath Hegde. Uh, Giving a keynote of Dr. Ashwath Hegde, he graduated from SDM College and done MSc from Jain University. Currently, Dr. Ashwath Hegde is working as a holistic physician in Body Holiday Wellness Resort, St. Lucia, West Indies. So, Sari is connecting with us from abroad. So, one thing I want to say about Sari is, Sar participated in many state and national level yoga competitions and bagged many prestigious prizes and recognitions. He also represented Rajiv Gandhi University of Health Science 3 times in national yoga competitions. Recently, he won My Life My Yoga video blogging contest at the national level. So I welcome you, sir, for this session.
Thank you, Karthik. Is my voice audible?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Can you see me?
No, sir.
You know why?
Okay, it may be time lag.
Because
So your voice is breaking, sir.
can you hear now?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Okay, I can't see you anyone, so you can't see me. I mean to say, all of you, if you can turn on your videos, it will be very nice. Can I request you to turn on your videos?
Sure, sir. Sure. Students, please turn on your videos who have been connected here in this Zoom.
Let me see at least some faces. Thank you, Karthik. Yes, Dr. Niraj, I can see.
Hi, sir.
Hello.
Hi.
Finally, we got to see you. Okay. No one else? Come on. Yes. Deepa.
Students, you can switch on your
Yes,
camera.
thank you. Thank you. See, today we are going to talk about marketing. Yes, Lakshmi, thank you. Marketing means presenting yourself, isn't it? I know all of you are very busy in Facebook, Instagram, putting your posts, but when it is live, you don't want to show your face. This is not fair, huh? Can you see my screen?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
This is the last slide. Okay. I'm not able to see anyone of you. I mean, I'm seeing just the screen. Oh, yes. How can I see one side screen, one side people? Um, Just a
Is everything
second.
all right?
Yeah, I'm trying to see. I mean, one side people and one side screen, which I'm not able to. Do you have any idea? Okay, anyway. Yes, this is fine. Okay, so good evening, everyone. It's good morning for me. So this is our clinic, Samyoga Nature Clinic. We have founded in 2018. Me and Dr. Kirti run the clinic. Now Dr. Vishwa is running the clinic in India. We take care of it online from West Indies. So we also have 10 other naturopathy and yoga doctors who take care of our online yoga classes as well. We run yoga classes for different people, like kids yoga, adults yoga. In adults yoga, we have batches for who is Vivo 1804 doing something on my screen.
The thing is, we are trying to adjust the screens as per your wish.
Okay, maybe. I can see 2 lines on my screen. It's okay.
Okay.
How to undo it? Okay. So I have done my master's in psychology from Jain University. Here in St. Lucia, I work as a counselor and a holistic medicine practitioner. Okay. So today, marketing and yoga. Is yoga something to be marketed? Because yoga is a spiritual thing. Yoga is something which is more holistic, more service oriented. When it comes to marketing is something which we think it as money making business, isn't it? But actually marketing is not only related to money making, or marketing is not something bad. Some people think it's all marketing gimmick, you know. But is marketing itself bad? I don't think so. Marketing means, okay, so I'm doing something and I want people to do the same thing. Maybe I'm practicing environmental activism, means I do some things which are saving the environment. Now, I alone cannot do all the things, right? So if everyone else joins with me, then it can be much more effective. So I market myself. I market myself as ambassador of saving the environment. Then many people follow me. That's also marketing, right? So that will help us to save the environment in a better way. So if you have a negative mindset about marketing yourself or marketing anything, just remove that. Okay. Now, this is the outline what we are going to see. So value proposition. So basically, this is a general slide. It's not only just yoga. So we see about what is offered. Here it is yoga and all our service, naturopathy, acupuncture, whatever we do.
Excuse me,
And
sir. One second.
yes.
In the top right of your screen, there is icon view.
Yeah.
The second one, side by side speaker, if you click on this.
Can you see? Um, is it okay now?
Go ahead, sir. I don't know. There are some issues in that.
I think everyone can adjust your screen. I think what you can do is pin the presentation.
Okay, sir. We will inform everyone.
Uh, okay. Are you not able to see the full screen?
Sir, not able to see the full screen. We can see your screen actually, not full screen.
But on my screen, the entire slide is visible. I kept the floating video to my right side.
Okay. So there is a button called View on the top right side, and you can select by side speaker or side by side gallery.
Okay.
Top right.
So now I stopped sharing. I'm just going to the view and I say speaker view. Speaker view
The side by side.
or gallery. Okay, let me try the speaker view.
Sir, I think participants can change the screen view. You can continue, sir. You can share the screen and can continue.
Yeah, that is what I thought.
Yes, sir. We can see the screen, full screen.
You can see now?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So what is offered and to whom it is offered, it is important. So we cannot give everything to everyone. So when we come up with say a type of yoga class, when we come up with a product, we should be very specific what is offered and to whom we are offering. Only if we clear in our mind, we know to whom to target. It's not like target to whom we can offer it. It's not like telling everything to everyone. And we should also be very clear that how it makes money, because finally if you are doing it for free, first thing, it is not valued. Second thing, you'll not be able to sustain it for long time. So money is a very integral part of marketing. So what is marketing? So basically you are attracting the customers and you are identifying, anticipating, satisfying the customers needs and wants. So it is one of the primary components of business management and commerce. And there are two types of marketing: B2B, that is business to business, and second one is B2C, means business to customers marketing. And marketing is a science, let me tell you, because you see, when you open Google, What it shows is what all the things you searched in the earlier, right? So you search for cars, it will show you cars. If you search for shoes, it will show you the shoes, right? Similarly, marketing uses psychology, human psychology, in a positive way and also in a negative way. So say for example, marketing uses fear and also natural instincts as drive factors. Now, how some things are marketed? Sometimes people use fear as a marketing strategy, means they create fear. Oh no, if you don't do this, you'll die. If you don't do that, you will be seen as somebody different, right? So they make you feel you are being isolated if you don't buy that. You are being isolated if you don't behave in certain manner. So one best example is Apple. Now iPhone is marketed so well that if you don't have an iPhone, you are not a human being. Not in India, but in Western countries, phone means iPhone, laptop means iPad or MacBook, right? So till that extent they have marketed. So and how they use it is based on human psychology. Now see, marketing, now what we do basically when we conduct a workshop or do something as promoting our clinic or yoga, we just do once, right? We maybe send some pamphlets or maybe we give some advertisement, but that is not sufficient. It is not that you give them the information. Marketing is all about being present consciously and also subconsciously. So why do you think people need to put a so much big board just roadside on a in a highway? So in a highway, they just need put a board and people will just see it or may not see it, right? But your eyes will register that thing in the background of your mind, right? So just for that, they spend thousands and lakhs of rupees to put a advertisement in the highway, right? So it uses your subconscious psychology to I mean, people use marketing for their own product building, product marketing, your psychology. Okay. So there are 4 aspects: consumer, cost, communication, and convenience. First is consumer. So who is a consumer? Excuse me. So before we market something, we should define our consumer. So what is your product? What is your offering? Now, say for example, you say yoga, nobody will come. You say yoga for hypertension, people who have hypertension will come. You say yoga improves flexibility, people may not come. But you say yoga for something and yoga for this group of people. So you need to answer the questions in their head, because every time people think, what is in it for me? You see the third bullet point there, WIIFM, means before I do anything, before I buy anything, before I agree for anything, I will definitely see what is in it for me. Means what is the profit, what I'm going to gain in a health manner, in a money manner, in a service way. What are the things I am going to get it, right? So even if they don't ask, also they will have that question in their mind, or at least subconsciously they will think that. So if you start answering those questions in their head, which even they may not be aware of, then they will start thinking about coming to you as a doctor. I assume everyone here is yoga and naturopathy graduates and so talking in that manner. Okay. So if you see any YouTube videos or Instagram ads or Facebook ads, so how they start, they will not talk about who they are. They will not talk about what is their organization, what are their offering, nothing. If you see clearly, just swipe some Facebook ads. They will start with your, do you want to make money? Are you depressed? Are you anxious? Or do you have this pain? Do you have that pain? So they will bring up some questions which might be in your head. So you only have 7 seconds to make an impact in those videos. Okay, I'll talk about it later. So second thing is cost. So cost, basically, in an online perspective, cost is not much, but still there is cost involved. But in offline perspective, there are a lot of costs involved, because if you want to start a clinic, if you want to start a yoga class, you need to have a big setup, you need to have a place, you need to pay the rent, everything. And from the participant or from the patient perspective, cost also refers to them in that in way of money, in the way of time, because they have to travel to you if it is offline, or if they have to spend money for the traveling, if they have to come to you, and they will also have to make some time to come to you, right? So all this comes under cost. You should see whether this is cost effective, right? Now we think this lowest price means we can market ourselves better. So if somebody is giving yoga, say for example, 1,000 rupees per month, if I give 900, other people come to me. So that's not actually truth, because see, when we started some yoga online classes, we started for free. There was no charge. We marketed to some extent. We sent out WhatsApp messages, Facebook ads, everything. But I tell you, there were hardly anyone, like maybe 10-15 people. Okay, for 1 or 2 months, no people. It was only half of them were our own relatives, friends only, right? So when something is given free, it is not valued so much. And also, um, people see free stuff as, okay, I can go anytime, right? So even if they start coming, then they will see, okay, today, no problem. Anyway, it's free now. So they may not come tomorrow, they will come day after, and they might skip your classes or skip your sessions. So that will lead you to devaluing yoga, because something given as free is not valued so much, and also it will not give you any benefit. So your time, your money, if you are spending for something to conduct that class, everything is wasted. Or maybe you get some good names, that is secondary, right? Now we should always think about creating the value, how much value you are creating. So if you want to take just one word from this whole presentation, I say that should be this: creating a value. So are you creating value for whatever, whomever you are meeting? So there are a lot of yoga classes, online yoga classes, offline yoga classes, which are free, right? So most of our clients or customers or participants are from Bangalore. Bangalore has a lot of free classes. Patanjali free classes. There are free classes run by Shri Ravi Shankar Guruji, free classes run by individual volunteers from different organizations. But still we have 150 to 200 participants every day participating in yoga, 8 to 10 batches with us. So how is it possible? That is possible because we created value to them, to show them, to make them feel what yoga is. So it's not just you keep on talking about yoga, yoga is that, yoga is that, nothing. So first answer the questions which is in their head. First try to make them feel what yoga is, then you can sell yoga. You can make other people practice yoga in a very healthy manner. Okay, so our aim was not to create a workshop, because workshop is short-lived, like 10 days, 1 month. Okay, so people always think, okay, this is 1 month yoga class. No, yoga should be routine. So we started like, okay, if you're coming to some yoga, you come forever, no problem. We'll support you until you are self-motivated. Okay, so self-motivation is something very hard to find. So people will stick to you. People will come to you. People will make use of it, and they will not feel bad spending some money for it, isn't it? Because that is giving them good health. That is helping them to sustain a routine, and they will see effect of that 1 hour yoga class in the entire day, in the entire life. So that is the value you are creating them, and they are happy to pay for it, right? So don't talk about the price too much with your client. You always talk about what is in it for them in your class or in your service, right? And convenience is also important factor. So when it comes to our online yoga classes, it was only 2 class per day. In fact, it was only 3 class per week in the initial stages. Now, then slowly we started to offer 2 classes, that is morning and evening both. Then there were people who could not attend that particular time. So we created more slots for people to attend. Now, trust me, we have 5:45, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 6 o'clock, sorry, 5:15, 6 o'clock. So totally 5 slots and 10 batches every day, right? So that is the that's how we tried creating convenience for them, so they can access any of the time slots whatever they are comfortable with, right? And we also have different types of yoga, say gentle yoga. So those who wants to do very light, those who have knee pain, back pain, those who are not having good balance, those who are elders. So for them, gentle yoga. Who wants little more, we named it as Patu yoga. Patu means being expert, being little more in whatever they are doing. That's called Patu. So we named it as Patu yoga, which is intermediate level. Then we also have advanced yoga, that is only I take weekly 3 times. And we also have special yoga for pregnant ladies who cannot do a lot of things and who should not be doing certain things. Dr. Kirti takes personally, she is expert in Garbha Samskara. I'm sure you all are aware about Garbha Samskara. And we also have kids yoga. And I tell you, we conduct kids yoga 6:15 in the morning. So we think kids will not get up. No, kids also will get up. 6:15 in the morning, they will do yoga, then they go to their online or offline school. So, and also one more batch in the evening, right? So this is how we created convenience. I'm giving out all my experience. I'm not hiding anything. So you can compete with some yoga if you like to, more than welcome, healthy competition. So the convenience, creating convenience in the time aspect is one important factor. And second one is money. So it should not be too costly. It should not be too low. So we kept the price anywhere between 750 to 1,000 per month per family. Okay, we have different packages, 1 month, 3 months, 6 months. So it should not look, oh, they are making so much money. See, of course, there are people who can afford, who are ready to spend 750 per day just to do yoga. You can do offline classes or online one-on-one individual classes for them, no problem. But when it comes to general public, you should narrow it down such a way that it should not be too much burden and it should work out for you really well. So ask yourself how much money you are expecting per hour. Based on that, you can keep the price. Okay, and when participants come in, you can increase the price a little bit just to make sure you have enough profit to compensate for the low time. Now, say for example, we have 20 people in one batch, so that is running well, and we have 2 people in another batch that is running low. So because there are only 2 people in another batch, we should not be stopping this particular batch, right? Because that is also something we offer. Now you go to a vegetable market, okay? You ask the vegetable vendor how much they pay for each vegetable. I'm sure they will not have equal profit in all the vegetable, or they may not be having any profit in some vegetable, but still they buy it and they display in their vegetable market, their vegetable shop, because I will go to that vegetable market, vegetable shop, if I see a lot of things as an option, isn't it? So you give them more option to choose from, then they are more likely to come to your class. Now there are 20 people here, 2 people here. Now maybe one person here cannot come for this class in next 1 month, but they can attend this class next 1 month. So they can shift from this class to this class, right? So you have some extra stuff for them to try. So that's where people feel more flexible, then they will come to you. So I'm talking about yoga classes. And when it comes to a clinical offline setup, that's also important. If you are available more time in the peak time where people are free, then people more likely to come. Now, say for example, you are available from morning 10 to evening 4. I say you may not get a lot of clients because that is the time most of the people are working, right? So if you want to take a patient for 10 days, they may not be able to come to you because your clinic is open only when they are working. But if you are available in the morning, say between 8 and 10, and say evening between 4 and 6, that is the time people are free, people can come to you. So that's how you create convenience. And online became a big convenience for them because they need not travel anywhere, they need not spend anything extra for the travel. So it became a more convenient for them. Next one is communication. How are you communicating? Communication, it doesn't mean it is one-way communication, it's also two-way communication. Because when somebody approaches you, how fast you respond to them and how are you respond to them. Now, before, we did not have any particular format or brochure or something. So every time somebody contacts us, we talk to them, okay, this is this, we offer this. Are you what you want? Then we allowed them to some of the classes, then they will register. But slowly we developed some automation, means, okay, you want this, we send this pamphlet. You want that, we send other pamphlet. You want this particular thing, we send this brochure. So we made some automation for better communication, and we made some templates. So just put their name in and send the template as a welcome message, as a thank you message, as some message awareness about the class, some uses, some steps involved in any particular meditation, and make some YouTube videos. So you keep communicating to them in different ways as many times as possible, then definitely they will come to you. Because when you communicate to them, you build a rapport. Rapport is very, very important. Now, say for example, why I choose to go to that shop only, even though that shop is costlier, maybe I feel more comfortable with the person in the shop, and that person is very responsive. He is very I have a good rapport with that person. Only because of that I go to that shop and I buy some stuff, even though I don't want, I might buy some things because I go there, I feel good with that person, and I try to make him feel good, and he will feel good if I buy some stuff, isn't it? So effectively, if people have good rapport with you, then they are more likely to promote you from in the society. Now, in the offline setting, this is very important, very, very important, let me tell you, because we cannot read each and everything. We can just try some things, right? So, and you might not have good result with a lot of people. So how do you face them? Now, say, for example, we had few people whom we gave acupuncture. There was not much any result, maybe 10% improvement because of a lot of other factors, because of weight, because of uh, their age or anything. But let me tell you, they did best marketing than many other people. Word of mouth marketing is the best way of marketing. So that happens slowly with time as you grow in your service. So even though they did not have good result, they did speak about us in a nice manner so that they sent a lot of other patients to our clinic. So that was possible only because we were very open. We had a good rapport with them and we made them understand we tried our best and this is what is happening. So we cannot do anything much. And you can change your lifestyle in this way that this might get better in the future. So having a good rapport will give you an openness to express yourself to the patient, to the client, so that they also feel that rapport and you keep good relationship because you might see that person once again or many times because you live in the same community, isn't it? So having a good rapport, and good rapport means having a good communication, is very, very important. Now, next come to the social media. So until here, cost, customer, communication, do you have any questions? Please let me know. Shall we go ahead? I find it difficult to talk just one way. I'm used to interactive sessions. Okay, let's move ahead. So writing social media bios. So the first part was most important. We have covered it. This I'll go through it in a short manner. So social media is the best way of marketing for online stuffs because online means social media, right? So it should be short and sweet. You just have 7 seconds or less to make an impact. And you think about your dream student or your dream participant and write in that way. And what is the emotion? So you should bring that emotion in. It's not just you are conveying the information. You should make them feel what you are trying to convey. If you are able to make them feel, then they will more likely to at least contact you and inquire about you. And this will help you to create your own brand tone, right? So what is the tone that you like to have for your brand? Now, say as for some yoga means online classes, online yoga. It means calm, it means relaxation, it means not hyper marketing, it means service, it means client oriented or patient oriented or participant oriented. Okay, so that is the tone we have built up over time, right? So that's how you should think and bring the tone. Then write it for one person. How would you introduce yourself to one person? Just write it in that way. And it should include what you do, what you serve, and what you want to be known for. So we do a lot of things as a naturopathy yoga physician. We do hydrotherapy, massage, acupuncture, yoga, nutrition, physiotherapy, everything. But don't include everything in one. So you should only include what you want to convey in that particular poster. Too many things means nothing. Just one thing, focus on that, people will remember. Now, Instagram details, I think we don't need to go through too much in detail. I'm sure you are much aware about it. So try to be short, list your interest, and you can use emojis, and you can use symbols, and you can change a lot of things. There are different websites, there are different applications that will help you to create a better Instagram post. And it's very important to add a call to action button. Call to action button means you tell about yourself, da 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 da, this is this I do, this is this we offer, this is a price, this is the timing, everything. But below that, or somewhere in the poster, you should mention what is the call of action. For registration, call this. We have free class this time. Call to this, message to this, WhatsApp to this, or contact this website. Or you should have particular button for clients to contact you, and that should be highlighted really well. Okay, otherwise they will see, okay, this is good, this is good. But if they don't see any call to action button, they don't bother, because they will see a lot of other ads as well, right? So now come to Facebook. So keep it very, very short. Don't keep it very lengthy. The shorter, the better. And you can actually take them into your website if you have from Facebook. And do not, under any circumstances, don't forget to include contact method, which I mentioned to you already. And YouTube, this is somewhat important. I mean, people are more familiar creating Facebook and Instagram than YouTube. So YouTube, you can have different channels. It's not just one channel. And you can, if you have a Gmail account, you have a YouTube channel. Okay, you need not create a different account for yourself, but you can create different channels for yourself. And what can people expect from videos? What is in it for them? You should know. Now, once again, when it comes to YouTube videos, you will not find a YouTube class for some yoga. That's the reason for it. Because see, there are a lot of YouTube videos. If people want to do YouTube video yoga, then they wouldn't come to online yoga, isn't it? They will come to online yoga because they want somebody to see them, somebody to instruct them, and they want to commit themselves for certain time, right? So we did not bother about making a big yoga video 1 hour, 2 hour, right? And it also may not be appropriate because not everybody should be doing everything, right? So we focused more on making some short videos, some educating videos, not than a practice video. Now, when you upload a new content, don't make them guess. Just tell them what you are going to tell. Now, in the starting of the video, if you make them clear what they can expect in the next 3 minutes, 5 minutes, or 8 minutes, then they can choose whether they want to see or they don't want to see. If you're just starting vaguely, I'm this, I'm that, this is this, then they may not be very much interested. And keywords matter a lot. So you should make sure that the keywords used in the YouTube channel are very attractive and very compulsive for the people to open the YouTube channel. But don't make yourself very hyper. Okay, cure for diabetes, cure for hypertension. Okay, of course, it may not be curing, right? Because there are a lot of factors associated with certain diseases. So we should make sure that we are not hyper marketing, or we are not exaggerating ourselves. At the same time, we are not telling in a too low tone. Okay, somewhere in between. Now, how to design a post? How much time we have? We have in next 10 minutes, I'm going to finish. So how to design a poster? Let me take to you a poster. Okay, this is a poster which I created. Okay, I'm trying to create using some online stuff like Canva. So there is a picture. Picture is always a effective way of communicating. So if a person just see this picture and blink his eyes, he knows that this is about yoga, because there is a poster depicting yoga. And there are two headings which are well defined, and there is time, price, and in different font we have mentioned when it is starting, and the contact, and the bottom line, who is conducting them. And it is well spaced. It is not very short or very lengthy, and we tried using a lot of spaces around the area, right? And we have put logo on the top. So Nisargamani, that's where we collaborate with, and Some Yoga, that's our clinic. So poster, if you have a good quality photo, that is very good. And if you have some editing skills, it's not difficult. Please learn, use Canva, there are many other apps. You can try using them. They are automatically will teach you, and use appropriate and proper amount of color. Don't use too much shiny colors. All the colors should have one tone, and one color may have a slight higher tone to attract the eyesight, to attract the sight into that particular thing. But other than that, try to use the same tone throughout the poster. Okay, and try to create similar pattern in your poster, so that people get used to it. Okay, if you change too much from one poster to another poster, it may not be too much appealing. Okay, so you should identify the goal, what is the audience you're targeting, what you want to share the poster, whom you want to share the poster. You can use a template, and it should be telling about your brand in a very clear manner. Okay, and you can get good quality images from some free website as well. How to create YouTube video? I'm not going to cover this particular thing in today's topic. It is slightly in detail. So if you are interested, I'm going to create one more workshop for that, how to create video, how to create a poster in a more easier manner. So these are the things which I'm going to cover in the workshop. So how to understand the YouTube video, or Facebook or Instagram, how people search, what are the words you can use, everything. Okay, and how you can outline, and video editing tips, everything. Now, remember, you don't need thousands of followers. If you see Some Yoga channel, it hardly has maybe 800, 900 followers, but we have more than 200 people practicing yoga with us. So you just need somebody who genuinely follows you, and you don't have to be everywhere. You just have to be there where people expect you to be, right? And you don't need a fancy logo. You just make a simple, appealing logo, and you don't need to appeal to everyone. So when I was there at the end of the discussion with the previous speaker, so there are two types of people: closed mindset and open mindset. Don't fight with closed mindset people. You try to give to the people who are open mindset people. Okay, then you will not regret, you will not fight, you will not feel so much friction in your own self. So let people come who like yoga, let people come who okay, like naturopathy, then and lifestyle medicine. Other people, let them follow whatever they want. Don't, no hatred for them, and don't try to catch them for you, but you create an impact in the society, you create an impact for those who follow you, those who like you, those who understand you, those who come to you. If you start creating an impact, I'll tell you, all the other side people will also turn towards you and come towards you. So how our yoga class have a lot of people is because one person in the family starts doing yoga. We will not force other family members, but we'll try to improve this one person in the family. And slowly all the other family members will start practicing in different batches and different timings. So that is how you create an impact in the whole society. So it is one person at a time. You just have to focus on that person who has come to you. You take the responsibility for that person, and that person will spread the word more than what you can think. Okay. So when we are marketing, this is generally happens. We forget our current student. So you give some bigger offer for those who are coming to you now, and you don't give any offer to the people who already in your class or who already coming to you. So that becomes unfair. So you should also become very fair for those people who are already with you and for those people who are newly coming to you. Okay, some mindset tips for yoga business. So finances is very important. How to handle finance, I'll cover in the workshop, but try to differentiate your personal finance and business finance in a different manner. And don't be scared of structure. Structure is very important. Be very structured in your approach. And in the business skills, in the yoga marketing, business skills is very important. Otherwise, it will not sustain for a long time. We have seen a lot of people who conduct yoga workshop, online yoga for 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, but after 3 months, they cannot do it. Okay, so business skills are very important. So when there is a lot of uncertainty, marketing means uncertainty. If you approach 1,000 people, 10 people will come to you maximum. Okay, so you should have good patience, practice equanimity, and we should practice ourselves. Mindfulness. So what is here for me right now? Just focus on that and take a break. Don't conduct too many classes for yourself. That's why we have hired 10 other doctors who are conducting yoga classes from different places. And we have to slow down to speed up. Means we have to slow down to see, to analyze ourselves, to see the progress ourselves. Only then we can speed up ourselves. You just keep on going. You may forget some stuff, some basic stuff which you have started class for. Okay. And if you want to grow in yoga and business, hold yourself accountable. Don't blame anyone or anything. And it's not blaming yourself. I'm accountable. I'm responsible for this stuff. What is happening in this? What's happening in my clinic? What's happening in my class? If you are accountable, then you'll grow and practice every day. Even though you practice, when you take yoga class, taking yoga class and practicing are two different things. So you should practice yourself, and that practice will reflect in your class. And when it is reflecting in your class, people will notice it and people will start following you. If you are not having good flexibility, or if you are not having presentable way of doing yoga by yourself, then you may not be able to attract a lot of people who want to follow you. See, that person, he cannot touch his toes and he's teaching Paschimottanasana to me, right? So that's not a very good thing. So practice yourself, practice every day, right? Yeah, I'm not saying you should get some advanced asanas like standing chakrasana or mayurasana or something. Simple things, try to achieve yourself, then people will start following you. And have a step-by-step approach towards goal, 1 step, 2 step, and what is measured, it will improve. So your goal should be specific, it should be measurable, achievable, realistic, and time bound. So I should make 10 lakhs, but when? You should specify in this month or in this year. So it should be time bound, not only about money, it's for everything. So what is measured improves. So you start measuring your progress in any manner, number of participants you have, number of people you teach, number of patients you treat, or the amount of money you make, whatever, keep a measure and it will start improving. So start practicing tapas, swadhyaya, Ishvara Pranidhana for yourself, because when we teach yoga, we should also teach these spiritual aspects, to the client. Only then it is complete. If you just start practicing just physically, it just becomes a Western way of teaching yoga, which is just show off. Okay. So I'm preparing a workshop about teaching online yoga, how yoga teacher should be, how class should be conducted, how you can set up your own business. More or less, whatever I have covered in today's session, it is an expanded version of that. Okay, so if you're interested in that, please contact me. This is my WhatsApp number. Feel free to contact. And I can also give my email ID. I don't think many people are using email ID, so you can just WhatsApp me if you're interested. So once the workshop is ready, once good number of people are interested, then we can plan a time and day and do the workshop. Okay, so our time is up. Yeah, any doubts, feel free to share, feel free to ask.
Good evening, sir.
Very good evening, Pooja.
Sir, I am Pooja from Sri Ramakrishna Medical College, final year. Sir, I have a question that you are saying about online classes, but how can we bring the feel and connection in online classes than offline class?
You should attend one of our online classes. So how to bring them feel? See, even when you are, imagine you are taking class for 30 people in a hall, can you go and correct them in their place every time?
No, sir. Sometimes maybe.
No, sometimes, right? So you demonstrate and you instruct. So your demonstration and instruction should be in such a way that you cover all the aspects, and you should also cover that how they should not do. Now, say for example, you bend back. So when you bend back in Ardha Chakrasana, what they should be feeling, where they should be focusing, and what they should not be feeling. If you tell all of this, and if you tell about the breathing, then that's it. And you tell who should not do, of course, very important, the contraindications. Then definitely it's possible to bring the feeling. So how can you bring the feeling is you tell them these are the things you might feel, and they will start noticing those feelings. And if they have something different, they will let you know. And that's the whole point in online yoga. So they can be guided as and when it is required.
Thank you.
Did I answer your question? I guess.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Hello, sir.
Hello.
I'm Rama Subramanian, second year student of Ramakrishna Medical College.
Yes.
Sir, my question is what we can do to start yoga center or program as a beginner doctor in between clinicals?
It depends on
I
what
mean
is
the challenges and the time management.
Oh, I think I have covered most aspect of it. So it should be convenient, it should be cost effective, it should be appealing to the participant. So you can start with the best way to start is with temples. Okay, so because you cannot own a huge place in the beginning, and temples will give you for very less price or for no price. So temples will have some space, some hall, so you can start approaching the temple authority, tell them you are conducting some workshop which is service oriented, then they'll give it to you, and then you'll start approaching the people. When you have good number of people who are coming to you, then you can approach a hall, then start the class. And once all of this works out well, then you can start thinking about a yoga studio. But until then, don't directly start with a yoga studio, invest too much in that.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so temple or anything which are little bit less expensive. Okay, don't invest too much before you are before you know that you can generate that much amount of money out of the classes. But I think because online classes are more popular now, you can start online classes. Did I answer your question, Ram Subramaniam?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Any more
Any other
doubt,
question?
students?
But I don't see anyone.
Students, as we are short of time, if you have any doubts, please be fast.
So I think yoga and marketing is some new topic. Most of you might not have heard about it. I hope I have covered what you expected, or maybe a little more than what you expected. If there are any other doubts, feel free to approach me through WhatsApp. You have my number. Any other doubts, please ask me now, or
Thank you, sir.
thank
Thank you
you.
for your valuable time here for
And
sharing your wonderful.
yeah, thank you for SRKMC for I don't know how Dr. Uni Raja got my contact, but when he contacted, I was surprised. Okay, I don't know anyone in that college, but still I was happy. It's actually a little bit odd time for me in the early morning, where we are in a rush to go to the wellness center, but because it was for students, which I was, and which I lacked in my student days, because there was nobody who were guiding how to start or how the market is. We are just taught theory, right? So when it is practical, it is entirely different. So that's what I wanted to give for student. And thank you for the opportunity. Thank you for everyone for your patient listening, and happy International Day of Yoga in very, very advance.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. We are very happy to share your thoughts regarding the perspective of yoga and marketing. For me also, it is a very first time to hear in a different view, so the yoga and marketing. Thank you, sir. Thank you for your valuable time once again.
And
Next.
our principal man also is here, sir.
Oh,
So, yeah.
namaste, Dr. Anusha.
Dr. Anusha.
Namaste, sir.
Namaste.
Really, your class is very, very useful, sir. Because what
Thank you.
I thought, the same thing you are just sharing to my students, and not only for students, whomever is interested in yoga, and they will get the proper guidance how to start and all those things. It's a complete, you covered all the points. Okay, not even a single point you didn't left. Everything is in a simple manner, from the beginning, like from first year to final year, the students can understand such a way you are given. And another thing is, like as what you said, it's a marketing, it's a different aspect. So in future also, if you are okay and the things are going well, we need more interactive sections like this. Okay.
Oh, yes,
So
yes.
we'll be
If I'm going to
approaching you.
conduct, if I am going to conduct workshop, I want to see everyone's face, because this is just
Okay.
a small talk. I just left
Okay.
it. Okay.
Okay, sure, sir.
So I'm more than happy to address students, or address anybody who is interested to start anything new, because I have seen a lot of phases in my own practice as a clinician, as a practitioner, as a counselor. So how we can grow in different ways. So definitely, ma'am. Anytime.
Okay, we will arrange it. So we will contact you.
Thank you.
Okay, very.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir, once again.
Thank you. Thank you all. Have a good evening. Take care.
Sir. Next, I would like to call Dr. Uniraja, sir, to express vote of thanks.
Good evening, everyone. It's such an honor for me to thank you all dignitaries on behalf of Sri Ramakrishna Medical College of Naturopathy and Yoga Sciences. I would like to express my gratitude to all esteemed dignitaries and delegates of the webinar for their presence and contribution to make this webinar a grand success. Actually, I extend my gratitude to our first resource person, Dr. Aaron Tulasi. We most of them know him, and to take out of our time for us and grace this event with encouraging and inspiring words. Thank you so much, sir. And next, I extend my gratitude to our second resource person, Dr. Ashrat Hegde, who gave his work time from his busy work actually, and adorned us with his thoughts and graceful opinion regarding yoga and marketing. Thank you so much, sir. And a special thanks to Dr. Ishwar V. Basavareddy and the director of Moraji Desai National Institute of Yoga for giving us such a wonderful opportunity to collaborate with MDNIY to celebrate International Day of Yoga 2022. And I extend my gratitude to Dr. Anisha, the principal of the Sri Ramakrishna Medical College of Naturopathy and Yogic Sciences, for providing this immense support for conducting this webinar. Also, I must thank all the management people and teaching and non-teaching staffs, organizing team, Mr. Shalom and Dr. Sharon Thomas, and a special renown to our General Manager, Mr. Hari S. Nair, for working hard to make this webinar successful. Thank you once again. Thank you, everyone.
Last but not least, I just want our principal ma'am to give an end note for this program so that we can wind up this. Ma'am, your end note, ma'am.
Actually, I thought that how it will be that much effective, whether it will be effective or not, that question I had it. But after attending the session, I feel that each and everyone who joined this section, that everyone will be benefited. So that satisfaction, I got it. And really, I'm thanking to all my speakers and the coordinators. Special thanks to Dr. Uniraja, Karthik Raja, and all the people. And really, it's a good session. And what I feel that it's like frequently, if you are doing something related to yoga and our system, means that will be very useful. Then sitting and inside a circle and without looking out, and so it's a very nice session. Okay, thanks to all, and really I am congratulating you all the people who worked behind this. It's a great work, and don't stop in this level. Okay, just move on, do something else in a different aspect. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for your input. Shall we wind up this program now?
Yeah.
So thank you, students, for joining here, and all of the delegates who have been joining us in this evening. So thank you all once again on behalf of Sri Ramakrishna Medical College of Naturopathy and Yoga. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Hegde, sir.